For hundreds of years, the galaxy believed Earth was nothing special. Humanity was known as a quiet civilization. They did not fight for new planets. They did not attack weaker worlds. They stayed inside their own region of space and focused on science, trade, and exploration. Many alien races respected humans for their intelligence, but many others made a dangerous mistake. They thought humans were peaceful because they were weak. Far away from Earth, the powerful Varkon Dominion watched the human territory. The Varkans had conquered hundreds of planets. Their massive war fleets were feared across the galaxy. To them, Earth was just another small world waiting to be controlled. One day, thousands of Varkon ships moved toward the human border. Their mission was simple: enter human space, take control, show the galaxy that no one could stop them. As the fleet reached the edge of Earth's territory, they received a message. It was not a threat. It was not a warning filled with anger. It was only one simple sentence: you have entered protected human space. Turn back immediately. Admiral Kaler, the leader of the Varkon fleet, laughed when he heard the message. Humans are ordering us to leave, he said with a smile. Do they really believe a few words can stop the greatest fleet in the galaxy? His officers laughed with him. They believed Earth was afraid. They believed humanity had forgotten how to fight, but they did not know the truth. For years, humans had been hiding something. Deep inside human space, old stations were sleeping. Ancient ships were waiting. Powerful systems were silent. The galaxy thought humanity had become harmless. But Earth was not empty. Earth was not weak. And when the Varkon fleet crossed the final line, millions of lights suddenly appeared in the darkness of space. The human defense network had awakened. The Varkans stopped laughing. For the first time, they wondered if entering human space had been their biggest mistake. The Varkon fleet moved deeper into human space, but something felt different. The silence around Earth was strange. There were no desperate messages, no panic, no ships running away. The humans were not trying to escape. They were simply watching. Admiral Kaler looked at the information on his screen and smiled. Look at them, he told his officers. They are scared. They know they cannot defeat us. But his confidence started to disappear when the first human defense systems appeared. The empty space around Earth was suddenly filled with thousands of hidden satellites and powerful stations. The Varkon soldiers stared at their screens in confusion. How did we miss these? One officer asked. Nobody had an answer. For years, the Varkon Empire had studied Earth. They collected human history, technology reports, and military records. But every report showed the same thing. Humanity had stopped fighting. They had no recent wars, no large military movements, no desire to conquer other worlds. The Varkans believed that meant humans had become weak. They were wrong. The human defense systems did not attack first. They simply blocked the Varkon path. A final message appeared across the alien screens. This is your last chance to leave. Admiral Kaler became angry. He refused to believe that a small human civilization could challenge his empire. Destroy their defenses, he ordered. Thousands of Varkon weapons fired toward the human border. The galaxy expected Earth to fall, but the attack never reached its target. Human shields appeared from nowhere. Every missile stopped. Every weapon failed. The Varkon fleet became silent. Then one small human ship moved forward from the darkness. Only one. No giant fleet. No army. Just a single old-looking warship. The Varkon commanders laughed again. They thought humans were making a final desperate move. They did not know that the small ship was not a sign of weakness. It was a message. Humanity was saying, you wanted to meet us. Now you will. The Varkon fleet surrounded the single human warship. To them, the battle was already over. A massive alien battleship moved forward and opened a communication channel. Human captain, your ship is alone, the Varkon commander said with a cold laugh. Your fleet has not arrived. Your planet cannot save you. Inside the human ship, Commander Ryan Cole listened quietly. He looked at the enemy fleet covering the stars. Hundreds of powerful warships, thousands of weapons, millions of soldiers. But he did not look afraid. For years, humans had prepared for this moment. They knew there would always be someone who believed peace meant weakness. Ryan finally answered. This is your final warning." The Varkon commander laughed. "You still believe warnings work?" Ryan looked at the approaching ships and gave one simple order: "Begin!" At that moment, the human ship changed. The old outer armor opened, revealing hidden technology that the Varkans had never seen before. The ship moved faster than any enemy scanner could follow. Before the Varkans could react, the first enemy battleship lost power. Then another. Then another. The Varkon officers watched in shock. One small human ship was defeating their strongest war machines. How is this possible? Admiral Kaler whispered. His soldiers had fought many civilizations. They knew every major weapon in the galaxy. But humans fought differently. They did not depend on size. They depended on strategy. The horizon moved to the battlefield like it already knew every enemy move. The Varkans tried surrounding it. They tried attacking from every direction. Nothing worked. Then Commander Ryan sent a message to the entire Varkon fleet. "You entered our space because you thought we had forgotten war." A pause filled the communication channel. "We did not forget." The Varkon ships stopped firing. For the first time, they understood the truth. Earth was not protected by weak defenses. Earth was protected by a civilization that had chosen not to use its power. And now, they had forced humanity to remember it. The Varkon fleet stayed frozen in space. For the first time in centuries, their soldiers did not know what to do. They had entered human territory, expecting an easy victory. Instead, they were facing a civilization they never truly understood. Admiral Kaler watched the battle records again and again. One human ship had stopped his strongest attacks. It was impossible. How could Forgotten World create technology like this? He asked. His intelligence officers searched through old human files. Then they found something hidden, something the galaxy had never known. Many years ago, humanity was not peaceful. Humans had fought a terrible war against powerful enemies from across the galaxy. The war lasted for years. Entire planets were damaged. Millions of lives were lost. But humanity survived. After that war, humans made a choice. They stopped showing their weapons. They stopped chasing power. They removed themselves from galactic conflicts. The galaxy believed humans had become weak. But the truth was different. Humanity was tired of war. They were not hiding because they were afraid. They were hiding because they understood the cost of their strength. Inside the horizon, Commander Ryan looked at the enemy fleet. His crew waited for his order. They knew they could destroy the Varkans. They had the power. But Ryan remembered the reason humans changed after the old war. Power was not about destroying everyone who stood against them. Power was about knowing when to use it. Meanwhile, Admiral Kaler received a final message from Earth. It was not an attack order. It was a reminder. We gave you a chance to leave. The Varkon leader finally understood. The warning from Earth was never a sign of weakness. It was mercy, but their pride had blinded them. They had entered human space believing they were hunting a weak enemy. Instead, they had awakened the one civilization the galaxy had been lucky enough to never fight. And now, the Varkans had to face the consequences of their mistake. The Varkon fleet slowly realized that the battle was no longer about victory. It was about survival. Their weapons were useless. Their strongest ships were damaged. Their confidence was gone. The same commanders who once laughed at Earth's warning now sat in silence, watching their empire's greatest fleet become powerless. Admiral Kaler looked at the battlefield around him. He remembered his own words. Humans think a message can stop us. Now he understood. The message was never meant to stop their attack. It was meant to save them from the mistake they were about to make. The Varkon commander opened a channel to the horizon. "Human captain," Kaler said quietly, "what do you want?" Commander Ryan looked at the damaged alien fleet. He knew humanity could end the conflict in minutes. But he also knew that revenge was not the reason humans fought. "You entered our space," Ryan replied. "You threatened our home. But this ends here." The Varkon officers were surprised. They expected humans to demand punishment. They expected humans to destroy them. Instead, Earth gave them a choice. Leave human territory forever. Never return. Admiral Kaler struggled with his pride. For his entire life, he believed the Varkon dominion was unstoppable. Surrender was something his empire never accepted, but the truth was impossible to ignore. His pride had brought thousands of ships into a battle they could never win. Slowly, the Varkon fleet began retreating. Across the galaxy, millions watched the event. They saw the empire that defeated countless worlds leave human space in silence. The news spread everywhere. Earth had not attacked first. Earth had warned them. The Varkans ignored that warning, and they paid the price. From that day forward, every civilization remembered one simple rule: never mistake human kindness for weakness, because behind humanity's peaceful face was a strength that even the greatest empires feared. After the Varkon fleet disappeared into deep space, the galaxy changed forever. For hundreds of years, powerful empires believed strength came from fear. They believed the biggest fleets control the universe. But the battle near Earth showed them something different. Humanity had proven that true power was not about attacking others. It was about having the ability to fight and choosing peace instead. Across distant planets, alien leaders watched a recorded battle again and again. They studied the horizon. They studied Earth's hidden defenses. They studied the moment when one human ship stopped an entire fleet. Many civilizations became afraid of humans, but others began to respect them. They finally understood why Earth stayed silent for so long. Humans were not waiting to become powerful. They were already powerful. They simply did not need to prove it. On Earth, Commander Ryan Cole stood inside the horizon and looked at the stars. His crew celebrated the victory, but Ryan knew something important. This was not a victory because an enemy was defeated. It was a victory because millions of lives were saved. A few days later, Earth sent a message to the entire galaxy. It was not a threat. It was not a warning. It was an invitation. Humanity does not seek enemies. We seek peace. But any force that threatens our home will face the same choice the Varkans faced. The message traveled across thousands of worlds, and everyone understood its meaning. Respect humanity. Do not test humanity. Years later, young alien children learned about the Varkon mistake in their history lessons. They learned how a powerful empire entered human space with pride. They learned how one warning could have prevented everything. And they learned the most important lesson of all. The quietest civilization in the galaxy was sometimes the one everyone should fear the most, because Earth did not need to conquer the stars. The stars had already learned to respect Earth.